everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to bring you a brief review and mini eye tutorial on two new eyeshadow palettes that I recently picked up from the drugstore. Now, I decided to do this review because I've not heard anybody talking about these palettes, and I think for several reasons they are worthy of talking about. So if you want to see more about these two little mini palettes from Revlon, see some swatches, see them put in action, and hear my overall final thoughts on whether they are worth your money, then just keep on watching. So when I first ran across these palettes, I was not looking for them at all. I was just browsing the aisle at my Walgreens, looking at each brand. And so when I got to the Revlon section, I saw these two eyeshadow palettes sitting there. And I was immediately drawn in by the color selections. I thought, oh wow, what are those? These are my kind of eyeshadow colors. This first one, you can see it just has a really nice array from plums to some pinks, and then we've got some gold shimmers. The other one really reminds me of the Naked Heat palette, which is one of my all-time favorite color combinations. You can just see those nice warm shades. And there's nothing for me to test. So I'm just looking at these going, oh. But I almost walked away without purchasing them solely because they were Revlon. That sounds really harsh, and I love Revlon. I love a lot of products from Revlon, but eyeshadow palettes have been, I think, one of their worst products that they've put out. And every time they come out with new ones, I'm just hearing it's like big time fail, big time fail, big time fail. So I almost walked away, but I was so curious and drawn in by the color spectrum that I thought, I gotta give these a try. And in usual Walgreens fashion, they were buy one, get one half off. So they ended up being $7.50 each. They were $9.99 normal price. These were the only two color options that I saw, and I keep holding one of these up upside down. So this is Enigma, so that is the actual name of the palette, the color palette, and then this is Maverick. So I brought these home and immediately opened them up, and there are no shade names or anything. There's no foam applicator, there's no little brush. For me, those are just kind of a waste anyway, so I don't mind that it didn't have any of that. But when I opened it up, and I noticed this a little bit at the store, I thought, those eyeshadow pans look remarkably small. And in fact, my first thing to do when I first open an eyeshadow palette is to stick my finger in. Well, you can see, my finger does not even fit. Even my little pinky does not totally fit. I have to squish it in there to actually get down to the product. So I knew immediately that was gonna be a con for me. Yes, and of course I pull out my fluffy crease brush and this is almost comical. So I'm almost to the point where I'm like, oh, I should just take these back to the store. But I persevered and I did start swatching. I got my tiny little finger, smudged it in there, and I was blown away by how amazingly soft and pigmented these shadows seem to be. So I started swatching them. Let me just show you here now the swatches, and then we'll talk a little bit about the formulation. So from the Enigma palette, I've got both of them swatched on my hand here. Hope you can see those first 4 shades there. And then the next row are those 4 shades. This palette, which is actually personally my favorite of the two, just because of the color selection being my favorite. So there are those 4 swatched. And that pale shade right here at the bottom, it's kind of hard to show up because my skin is so pale, but it's a little bit of kind of a pearly ivory color. And then those colors right there. So now let's go ahead and get into the application, and you can see how these shadows apply, and then I'll wrap up this video with my final thoughts, letting you know how these wear throughout the day, and in the end, is it really worth your $10 or $7.50? To create my look today, I'm actually going to be going between both palettes, so I'll try to be clear of which one I am using. For along the brow bone highlight, I'm going to start off with this pink shade because it is a little more matte, and it's pretty brightening. I'm going to go over the top of it with the lightest shade in the other palette, but I don't want quite as much sheen as that one gives me. So we're gonna kind of do a little mix here. So now I'm gonna go into this palette and this furthest shade. So this one has just a little bit of kind of a pearly sheen. So we're gonna put this over that, there we go, right under the brow. And this brush, even though it's big, it works because you can turn it on its side and get into those tiny little pans. All right, so then next through the crease, this is where it gets really interesting because you know I love my Morphe M504, and you can see how this covers like 2 of those pans. So I've tried everything from like squishing it in, and I think just it's easier to go in with a slightly tapered blending brush. So this is the Morphe M433. And to start, I think I'm going to go in first with a little bit of this shade right here. It is another matte shade. It's kind of a taupey mauve shade. And now I'm going to warm things up just a little bit. I'm going to go in with this third shade here. And again, you can see I'm turning the brush sideways, and these are a little powdery. I don't mind that because it does actually still transfer well onto the eyes, but that's something to be aware of. And now let's go into this pink fuchsia shade. Just kind of want to show you the amazing pigmentation with this. Because the pans are so small, it's easy to go a little bit lighter on your application because you can't get a really big brush in there. So you can see it just is providing a really nice kind of pink hue out here. Now I'm just going to take a clean blending brush and go right around the edge. And I really feel like these blend nicely and are buildable and actually stay really well throughout the day too. So that's a good thing. All right, we're gonna go straight in with our lid shade next, and I'm gonna use this one right here. This is where it gets a little tricky, folks. Even my little pinky barely fits in the pan. But if you can get the color out, it's actually really pretty. I'm just going to show you kind of dry and no base. I have used these also with a base, and it definitely amps up the pigmentation. And then I'm going to go in with this second shade here and do a little bit of this towards the inner corner and just brighten this up a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and wet my brush, but first I'm going to pick up more of that first shade that we did. And let's just put this, see how it performs wet. I don't think I've done these wet, but I'm going to wet it with my Smashbox primer water. And yeah, that definitely kicks up the metallic quality of that shade. And then before I finish darkening the outer corner, I'm going to go in with a little eyeliner. This is Corrupt by Urban Decay, and just a really dark brown shade. Go in with my Sedona Lace EB21 and just feather that out. And then I'm going to show you both of the deepest shades in the palettes. So I'm going to start with this one in this dark brown. It is a really nice deep brown. It has a little bit of some reddish undertones. You're not going to see it as red, but it does pair really nicely with the other warm shades in this palette without looking too harsh. And then I'm going to use this dark shade just right here. Let's put a little bit here at the outer edge. And right along the lash line here. Now I'm going to go back with my blending brush and a little more of that fuchsia color. So we covered up some of that. Bring a little more of that to life here again. And then I'm going to use, I think this one. It's kind of a burnt orange color, the darker of the three in this palette. That kind of have that tone, and use that to kind of marry those gold shades with that kind of pink shade. And then I'm going to go back with my little brush here and wet it again and just re-intensify the shade here. So for the lower lash line, I'm just going to use this Aesthetica brush and just do a little bit of shadow. So we're going to go in first with the dark brown. Then we're going to add a little bit of a pink halo with a little bit of the fuchsia color. And then further blend the inner part with that really pale taupey shade. Just soften that edge a little bit. And then on the inner rim, I'm going to use this new liner from L'Oreal. It's Infallible Pro Last Longwear Eye Pencil. And this is in the shade Burgundy. It's so pretty. And this really lasts very well in the waterline and then of course on the lash line as well. For inner corner highlight, I'm going to go back to this palette. I'm going to first start with this little guy here, this bright shade right here, and I'm going to use the Sigma E30, E35. I'll put it down below, can't remember. And I'm just going to tap this on the inner corner. And you can see, I mean, this really does provide a really nice amount of brightening there. Again, the shadow is pretty powdery, but pigmented. And then I'm going to take a little bit of that shade and just blend it into that shimmer shade. I like to do this at the very end. So hopefully, as you saw these apply to the eyes, you could see that overall, I think these are really good shadows. The one big con is the size of the shadow pans. I want to say Revlon, who tested these out, right? Were they applying them with what? I don't know. I guess those, maybe the foam little shadow things that they didn't include, maybe those will fit in there. I don't have any on hand to try, but that is my overarching, just the biggest thing. I do love how compact these are, but you know, just a little added length would have been fine so that we could have just a little larger pan size. Now, as far as quality of these shadows, I think the quality is by far, it is there. They are a little bit soft, a little bit powdery. You're gonna get some kick up in the pan, but they apply beautifully on the eyes and they last all day. I did not have any fading. And in fact, as I was swatching these on my hand, my fingertips got stained. So that to me tells me that there is really good long-lasting pigment in these. Now I always apply eyeshadows over a primer, so that's something to keep in mind. I didn't apply any of these swatches over a primer, so they swatched very well, very pigmented. Now, another con that I would say is in each of the palettes, there's a couple of shades that to me appear to be a little bit overlapping. So in this Enigma palette, it would be these two shades. They're similar enough that I feel like in a smaller palette, I want each shade to be remarkably different. In the other palette, kind of similar thing. Let's see, where are those swatches? So here we are. You'll see there are 3 warm brown matte shades. Now this one I feel like is good enough on its own, but these two are similar enough that I kind of find them a little bit interchangeable. So I kind of wish that one of those 3 shades was slightly different, maybe slightly cooler, slightly more of a tan color. It does remind me a lot. There are several shades in the Naked Heat palette that I feel like this definitely dupes. Let's see, they are this far shade right here. Let's see, Cayenne. This beautiful scorched shade is almost identical to the shimmer shade in the Maverick palette. And then He Devil is also one that I feel like is duped. All the rest, there's, you know, overall it's a similar theme, definitely, but I don't feel like they're definite dupes. But you can get a very similar eye look from this palette. Now, as far as how much eyeshadow you're getting in this tiny little palette, there is, let's see, a total of 3.4 grams in each of these. So overall, I actually love these palettes, and I think that they are worth your money if you can get around the whole pan size thing. Now, I recently also picked up one of the Profusion palettes from Walmart. This is the Siennas. And what's funny is there are kind of some similar shades from these in this palette. This has some pinks and browns and oranges and all of that. And even though, I mean, look how huge this palette is compared to these little guys. And one of these is the same price as this. I have to say that while most of these are pretty pigmented, especially I found the mattes to perform well, the shimmers were not quite as pigmented as what I found in here. And I really felt like these shades faded with this palette compared to this. So even though this is a whole lot more product and the pan sizes are definitely more appealing, I still actually think that I would recommend these little guys over that particular Profusion palette. Now, I know that they have made tons. I do plan to try some more from this brand and kind of, you know, play with them, see if I do a stickier base, if that really helps. But just my initial couple uses with this compared to the Revlon ones, I was actually more impressed with the Revlon palettes than the Profusion. So I just wanted to bring that in as kind of a drugstore comparison because the pricing is the same. So that wraps up this video. I hope that it was helpful for you. If you've seen these in your Walgreens or Rite Aid or drugstore and been curious, you might give one of these a try and actually be pleasantly surprised at the quality and the performance of them. Thank you as always so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.